Hey guys, so I am starting another fun themed reading vlog, and this is going to be my Sarah Beth Durst reading vlog. I'm going to try to get through all three of these books. It is now Thursday night, so I'm going to try to get through them. But they're all really short, so I'm hoping to get through them in the next couple days, probably give it a week, because I can probably get through all these in a week. We are starting with the one I'm probably the most excited about if I don't drop stuff everywhere, and that is The Queen of Sorrow. This is the third book in the Queens of Rinthia series, so this is the final book in that trilogy. So excited. Hold on. So this is the final book. I'm very excited. From what I've heard from Elliot and just different people, is this is their least favorite book in the series. So I'm hopeful, but I'm going in kind of trepidatious, just because I typically align with most of Elliot's opinions on books. There's some things we differ on, but we have pretty similar tastes, so I'm curious to see why this is her least favorite and what I end up thinking. After I read this, I'm going to read Deepest Blue, which is a spin-off set in this world, but in a different kingdom. I'm here for it. And I mean, they're short. I can get through these quick. Then my final Sarah Beth Durst book I'm going to be reading is Race the Sands. This is an adult fantasy standalone. Yes, I think Sarah Beth Durst does adult fantasy standalones well. I've only read one, and that is The Bone Maker, but it's probably my favorite book of the year so far. If you only read one Sarah Beth Durst book, go get The Bone Maker. And then you'll want to read more, so go pick up Queen of Blood after that. But I'm really excited to get to this, which again, decently short for an adult fantasy. So we're going to try to get through all of these this week. So, I just want to do a quick morning update because I am back at the office. Day 2 of back to work. I'm man, how did I do this every day? 5 days in a row? I have to wake up, get dressed, shower, makeup, everything, 5 days in a row? I got spoiled. My husband was you got so spoiled working from home, because I could just throw my hair in a bun and look halfway decent and wear sweatpants. Yeah, so I got spoiled. But I'm not really doing a whole lot of reading today. Well, I'll probably read something tonight, but when I get home, I have to do some work and I have to edit and stuff like that, because I'm back in the office and my time is all messed up, and I'm it's weird. I'm still getting used to the time change, but I'm trying to do this behind the scenes vlog for y'all, but there's not very many scenes to be behind. But I did finish Mishborn: A Secret History last night, and you can see my thoughts on that in the vlog that's probably up before this. So I did a Sanderson, it turned into a Sanderson reading vlog, but it didn't start out that way, so check that one out. I believe that's up first, so if you haven't checked it out, it's probably in my vlog playlist. But yeah, I'm going back in to work. The kids are officially both in school, so that's the thing I'm absolutely thrilled about. They're both loving it. Girl is super happy to be in school. Boy loves it. He gets mad when I pick him up because he's I want to stay. I'm we can't. We're still, fully doing 3 days a week of gymnastics. I'm looking into cross country for the girl, which means we'll drop down a day of gymnastics because her school does cross country. So she wants to do it. So I'm like, okay, I will drop down. I'll look into it and we'll drop a day of gymnastics because I'm not doing like 4 days a week. And then I'm looking into probably like t-ball for the boy because he wants to do something and I need to get that energy out of him. But like, I don't know how to handle being the parent that does like multiple sports for multiple kids. Like, I don't know how to be that parent. Like, what if their practices are at the same time? What do I do? Like, I get that I have a husband, but like, he works too. He's busy. He's a business owner. So I don't know. How do I be that parent? But yeah, I'm going to go into work and see how this day goes. I'll update you probably when I get out or whatever while I'm sitting waiting for Willow in gymnastics. Hey guys. So I have read a lot of Queen of Sorrow. And so far, I mean, almost halfway through. 200 pages in. I'm loving it. Like, I'm curious to see what happens at the end because it's like so close to the end. And I'm like, how are we going to wrap up the story in another like 200 pages? But so far, I'm really enjoying myself. Do I think it's going to be my favorite in the series? Probably not. I don't know though. I really loved book 2. But this one has like kind of opened up the world some more. So we're seeing more of like other places other than like our kingdom that we're currently in. So I'm liking that. And you know, of course, I love Delina, but I really love, what's her name? Naylin? I don't know how to say it. Naylene. It's what I'm going with. In my head, it's Naylene. And I love her. Like, we're following a literal middle-aged mom of 2. What is not to love? And she's like overpowered as hell. Like, let's be real. She is like the complete opposite of Delina. Like, so overpowered, but like can't control her powers. And then we have Delina, who's like on the opposite side of that. And I love their dynamic. I love the characters in this book. Like, I'm kind of sad to see it end, y'all, but I'm going to try to read some more of this tonight. I have a bunch to do. As you saw, Willow and I went and got haircuts. Mine is definitely not as drastic as hers. Oh my God. I didn't take video at the end, and she's already like decided to take a bath and get it all wet, and now it doesn't look styled anymore. So I'll insert pictures. Insert pictures. She had a drastic hair change. She was just like, I want it all gone. I was like, okay, good. She had it all gone. Tomorrow, we're actually going out on the boat with my dad to one of our like local springs here. So I'm really excited, but y'all, I'm gonna have to get up super early. Like, I've already got like everything set out. I've got snacks packed and set out. I've got bathing suits ready to put on. Like, it's gonna be a fun day. And we're usually out there like just half of the day. Like, we get out there early and then like leave after lunch. So it'll be fun. I had my first like partial week back to work, so that was also exciting. I'm filming like 3 vlogs right now too. So I finished up my Brando Sando vlog that turned into a Brando Sando vlog. Didn't plan for that. I'm doing this Sarah Beth Durst vlog, which I'm loving, and then I'm doing like a behind the scenes vlog. So I have so much that I'm filming right now. Like, I just filmed 3 videos. It's, you know, this coming week is my first like full week where I have to go to work a full 5 days in office. Look, my husband told me I've been spoiled, and he's not wrong. I was like, I'm so spoiled by like just rolling out of bed in my pajamas, putting my hair in a bun, and like clocking into work and working. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. But no, it's really good being back in the office. I missed everybody, so it's really nice seeing humans again that like aren't my kids, you know, full adults that are not my husband. So that's been nice, but still just trying to read. And I have what, 9 days left in the month, and I'm going to try to get through at least 3 books. We'll see what happens there. guys, so I am almost done with Queen of Sorrow. And I'm really enjoying it. Like, unless these last, like, 50 pages go off the rails, I'm thinking this is a 5-star series. Like, as a whole, I have just enjoyed every single one of the books in this series. Like, I know Elliot said that this one was her least favorite. And I can see why, but girl, it's still so good. I'm enjoying myself greatly. Like, there's so many revelations. Like, there's a couple things that I'm like, I can see. But other than that, I'm like, unless it goes off the rails, I can see myself loving it. I have an idea of what's going to happen, but I'm like, man, how are they going to fit all this stuff in that I think is going to happen in like 50 pages? Like, I just love Sarah Beth Durst. I'm so excited because as soon as I finish this bad boy, I think we're going to start Race the Sands because it is a standalone. And I'm very excited. I mean, we've gotten so much cool stuff. And we've gotten some really cool revelations about the spirits and like the world. And I'm very excited to like wrap that up and like see what happens with the spirits. Cause like, what? Like, it's really good. I highly recommend reading this series as a whole. Like, obviously I haven't finished this book yet, but get it. Get Queens of Rinthia and read it. Sarah Beth Durst is just so underrated, but you need her in your life. So I finished it. Okay, so I have some feelings about the end. I can definitely see why this would be somebody's least favorite book in the series based on the ending and based on things that happened in the ending. But for me, I absolutely loved it. So, as I've said before, I've read other Sarah Beth Durst books. I read her standalone Bone Maker, one of my favorites. The ending reminded me of that, I can't speak, a lot. Because it's a very open ending. Like, it feels like there's going to be another book, but there's not. There is, what is it? Deepest Blue? Isn't that it? Yeah, Deepest Blue, which is like a spinoff in another one of the land. I think it's in Boleyn, which is one of the lands that we get like 5 seconds of. So I'm excited for that. But I can see why this would be someone's least favorite because it's very open-ended at the end. Like, things didn't go the way we thought they were going to go. And it's like, I thought for a little while that we were going to have this like big ending where like we get more, figure out more of the spirits and we're going to, you know, close that chapter nice and pretty. And that's just not what Sarah Beth Durst gives you, y'all. She gives you, this is the end, life goes on. Like, this is just the end of the series, but life will continue on after it. So there's so much. I mean, there could definitely be another book in this series and it would pick right back up and it wouldn't feel like a last book. But knowing Sarah Beth Durst's writing style from what I've seen in the other book that I've read from her, she likes to leave it open. So I'm really curious now, even more so, about Race the Sands, because does she leave stuff open in this one as well? Is it another open ending? Like, is that just her thing? Oh wow, this one is 528 pages. This is probably the longest because like these books are pretty short. No, probably not. That's like 500 pages. So let's see how that goes. But yeah, I loved it. I'm gonna give it 5 stars because Bro, I loved this series. Like, I can't not give it 5 stars. Like, Sarah, Beth Durst, if you're watching this, which I don't know why you would be, you might be my favorite author now. You're up there. You're on Brandon Sanderson level. And V.E. Schwab. Like, those are my 3 faves right now. And Sarah Beth Durst is there. So now we are going to start Race the Sands. Race the Sands, which is a standalone adult fantasy. And we're following another mother because, I don't know, Sarah Beth Durst just gives me moms. Like, I loved in books 2 and 3 of Queens of Rinthia, the mom. There's like a main character who is a mother of 2, and like, she just gives me like real mom vibes, right? Like, the kids feel real, like they're kind of annoying, but she loves them, and like, it feels very real to me as a mom of 2 kids, so I really appreciated that. So in this one, we're following a mom, and she's like entering this race to train this race to save her kids. So we're gonna see how this one goes. So I haven't updated because I literally have just been flying through this. So I'm 310 pages into Race the Sands. And like, it's like I just started reading and could not stop. This story is so good. And it does like the typical Sarah Beth Durst thing where I've noticed, and like Sophia noticed as well, something that Sarah Beth Durst like likes to do is to give you the answer that you think is like the big reveal super early on. Like, it answers a question that you think is going to be like the overarching like big question in the plot, like the last end reveal, the big shock. And it's like, it gives it to you really early on. And then it's like, oh my God, but now what? And then like takes you on this adventure that you didn't know you were getting. It didn't know you were needing. So it's almost like a climax early on, but then you get like more of a climax at the end, and I'm loving it. So like, she definitely does that well, because I've noticed that she does that in The Bone Maker, and then I noticed that she does that kind of in Queens of Rinthia. Probably more so in like The Bone Maker and this, because they're both standalones. But like, I did kind of notice things like that in Queens of Rinthia, where it's like, it answers what you think is going to be like this large question like early on, but then it gives you so much more. So really enjoying this. I don't have very much more to it. It's so cool. So basically the concept of this is we're following Tamara, and she is like an older woman who has an 11-year-old daughter, and she used to be what they call a Keyhawk rider. The racers are the Keyhawks, the riders are the people that ride them. And Keyhawks are basically these like abominations, and they're what people are reborn as if their soul is damaged. So like, if they're murderers and stuff like that, and like they have a bad soul, they reincarnate as a Keyhawk, and they're violent and vicious, and they're gross, and they look like animals like stitched together. Like a big metal lion is like our main one, like a metal looking lion, or there's like a rhino croc and like a lizard whatever, and they're gross, right? So that's what you reincarnate as. The only thing is once you reincarnate as a Keyhawk, you can never reincarnate as anything else other than a Keyhawk. Like, you're stuck as that for your whole existence. You can never earn out of it. And like, reincarnation and rebirth is like huge in this world. And they have these Argers who can like read souls. Like, they're supposed to be like pure of soul, and they're chosen because they were great in a past life, and they're trained up, and they can see your aura, so they can see like if you're on the right path to reincarnate as something good or not so good, so you can fix it. But it's like so good. So she is basically down and out. She needs some monies because her daughter is in training to be an Arger, but she has to like pay a ton of tuition, and if she can't pay it, the daughter will still train, but then she can't see her daughter anymore. Like, to come home, she'll become like a ward of the state, basically. And this other girl, our rider, Rhea, is running from her family and trying to find her own freedom. And she's like young, she's 17. She wants to escape, so she ends up being a Keyhawk rider for Tamara, who's like training her. And it's so good. I'm very excited because we just got more. It gets, you think that that's all you're getting, right? As just this racer and rider and training. And then you get kind of thrown into this like political intrigue-esque aspect of the story. And I'm like, whoa, like the world opens up. And I'm really, really enjoying it. And I'm flying through it. So I'm going to see if I can finish this. Hey guys, so I finished Erase the Sands and I absolutely loved it. I gave it another 5 stars. Are we surprised? Not really. I really enjoyed this. It's probably not my favorite of Sarah Beth Durst's books, but it's still really good. It has that pretty, what seems like typical Sarah Beth Durst ending where it leaves just enough open for your imagination. It leaves just enough questions, but like wraps it up, right? So it's like, okay, like it ended, it's over. There's still some things that are kind of open, but you're satisfied. And I really like that. I think she does that type of ending well. And she really does that whole like big reveal in the beginning of the book pretty well too. And it's like, okay, well, this is what I thought was going to be the big reveal, but what else is happening? And she knocks that out of the park, especially in this book. Because you're like, wait, I thought this thing was the overarching question. But like we got the answer pretty early on. So now it's something else, but it's related. And I absolutely love it. I think it was a great job. So 5 out of 5, once again. Now, though, it's the last day of the month. And I'm starting Deepest Blue. It's not super long, but it's long. So I'm going to try to get through this. This is set in, what's the name of the place? Baleen, which is another one of the kingdoms from her Queens of Rinthia series. It's mentioned sparingly, and I'm really interested in it. So this is supposed to be like a one-off standalone in that world. So honestly, I'm kind of hoping that I love it and that she does more standalones in this world because I'm excited. I read, you know, a couple pages last night before bed. So far, so good. It's very much like water ocean-y as opposed to like in Queens of Rinthia main series. It's more like forest and, you know, the trees and all those spirits. Well, in this one, it's like an island, so it's more watery, and you have all the water spirits. So I'm really excited to get through this one and see what I think about it. Hey guys, see the boy? Quality is super low because it's still kind of dark out and gross because it's raining. We just got to the dentist. Boy has his dental procedure this morning. I dropped off the girl at school at 7 a.m. because that's when cross country is now. So 7 a.m. cross country every Wednesday. And I had to drive an hour to get him to the dentist. I'm so tired. But I brought the rest of Deepest Blue. I brought Deepest Blue to read while I wait. I might fall asleep in the waiting room. But I brought that to read while I wait. I read about 100 pages last night, and it's so good. I love it because it's like the same world, obviously. It's the same world as Queens of Rinthia, Queen of Blood. But it's, the traditions are different. The spirits are slightly different because like they have more water spirits. But like their traditions, the way they like pick heirs and like train their queens and stuff like that. So different than like Arteray and Simo. So I really love seeing like more of the world. And we got an Easter egg from the first series. So while this is a standalone, I think, at least because it's like an Easter egg, right? But like while it's a standalone, I think you should read the first 3 first. Just for that. I mean, not really just for that, but like stuff makes more sense, I feel like, after reading the first one. Like, I think it takes place after the 3rd book, right? So like it does chronologically take place after book 3 in the original trilogy. Yeah, so now we're just gonna sit here and wait. We're gonna go in about a couple minutes. You gonna say bye?
Bye.
Bye. Wave. You're so silly. Are you ready for the dentist? What are they gonna do? We didn't like the drink that they made you drink. Okay, buddy. It's okay. Hey, Luca. You all right? What are you doing? How you feeling? You gonna say hi?
Bye.
Yeah.
Mommy.
Do you know where we are?
Daddy.
What is the dentist gonna do?
Clean
Clean
the
your...
teeth.
Well, we're gonna do more than just clean your teeth today. Oop.
Bye.
Whoa. How you feeling?
Where?
You say hi? Yeah, you feeling, buddy? Your mouth hurt? Why don't we take a nap, okay? It's gonna be a long day. Hey. Whew. It's been a long day. I dropped off the girl at school super early, drove like an hour to the boys' dental appointment. As you can see, that was interesting. We just came home, relaxed the rest of the day. I'm keeping him out of school again tomorrow, just to be sure, and working from home. So yay, that'll be fun. I have gotten through over half of The Deepest Blue, and I'm really enjoying being back in this world. I really hope that Sarah Beth Durst does more. I think they call it the Tales of Rinthia. Oh, sorry, I'm tired. I hope she does more like Tales of Rinthia, which is what I believe she's calling these like standalones, because like I want the other kingdoms now. Like it's fantastic. Like I don't know what else to say other than I'm really enjoying it. We're following basically a bunch of girls that are chosen to be heirs, but the way they're chosen and made to train is much, much different than in like Queen of Blood. Much, much different, much more dangerous and deadly. And it kind of gives me some Hunger Games vibes, because it's like all the girls are dropped on this island and then like, okay, you need to survive for a month. Bye. So crazy, but it's so good. And like the politics in it, and I love it. I love it. Sarah Beth Durst is just fantastic. Hey guys, I finished it. I finished The Deepest Blue last night. It took me 2 days to read this. Like I flew through this book. I gave it 4 stars, probably a 4.5. I don't really know why I didn't give it 5. It just didn't give me that 5-star feeling. There were like a few little things I felt were like, really? But overall, this is a fantastic standalone. It is a standalone in the Queens of Rinthia like world. I think they call this Tales from Rinthia is what she's calling it. And this is the only one like of its kind right now. I'm really, really hoping Sarah Beth Durst will decide to do different ones of these like Tales from Rinthia and like this series. Like I hope she ends up doing like the other like parts of the world, because there's like other kingdoms that we haven't really explored. I forget their name. I think one is Chell. There's Simo, which we did get some of Simo in the original trilogy, but then there's another one whose name I can't remember. And like there's so much more to this world that I want to see. There's so many other kingdoms and I just love it. I love the magic in this book and this series as a whole. And while this might be the lowest rated Sarah Beth Durst book that I've read, I gave all of her books 5 stars. Except for this one got like a 4.5. So like we're doing something right. Like Sarah is doing something right. She can, for one, write a fantastic older female mother protagonist. She has shown it again and again and again. Multiple of her books. She, you know, Race the Sands, female older mom. We have book 2 in Queens of Rinthia. Queen of Sorrow? No. The Reluctant Queen is the second one. We are introduced to a main character who is a mom and she's older and I love her. And the Bone Maker, of course, we have older characters. One is a parent and I'm like, she just knocks it out of the park. And I just love her writing. I love her characterizations. I did look her up on her website and she is a mother herself. So I feel like that makes just so much sense, right? My dog is like wagging her tail by the little tripod. Like it makes so much sense that she is a mother herself because she writes motherhood representation, I think, super well because she's lived it. Like it's one of those like life experiences that you have to live, I feel like, to like completely understand it. She gives her mothers so much nuance and so much depth, and it's like they're not one-dimensional like a lot of people tend to write moms. There's just so much, right? And like they live for their children, they die for their children, but like they are also their own people, and I love that. And I just think she does that so well in every book that I've read from her. This is just, again, a fantastic book. There were a couple just little tiny things that I'm like, we've seen that before, or, oh, she did that again, but like, not in a bad way. Just like, okay, I kind of saw that coming. But I don't care because I enjoyed my time with this. And I think if you've read Queens of Rinthia, you will really enjoy this. While it does stand on its own and you don't have to read the first 3 books in the series in order to read this, I recommend that you do, because there's like little tie-ins that make so much more sense once you've read the first 3. There's just like, you know, it's not like major crossover, but there is like one character that is a pretty good big crossover from the original trilogy into like this standalone. And other than that, there's like little things that you're like, oh, well, I saw how they did it here. Why did they do it different here? So it's really good to see. Again, I just recommend reading the first 3 before you read this one, because it makes more sense. I could definitely see myself like completely understanding and getting this without have read the others, but I think it was better having read the others. And that's it, y'all. That is the conclusion of my Sarah Beth Durst reading vlog. I guess I'm a 5-star strumpet. Like, every book I've read from her, aside from this, which is real close, has been a 5-star book. Even ones I didn't read in this like vlog. When I read The Bone Maker earlier this year, 5 stars. And then the whole Queens of Renthia series, I gave 5 stars to all 3 books. And Race the Sands, I gave 5 stars. Like, they're fantastic. I'm planning on doing a like sit down video on Queens of Renthia, like a series review, and then a Race the Sands review. And I don't know, I have a few ideas like to do some more videos about Sarah Beth Durst and her books, because I feel like they're not talked about as much. Like, she's not as talked about, at least here on BookTube from what I can see, as like your V.E. Schwab, your Brandon Sanderson. And I feel like she should be. Like, she needs to be talked about more. And I would love to talk about her more. And yeah, she has a book coming out like every year. She has so many more books that I haven't read. Most of them, I believe, are middle grade that I haven't read yet. Still want to read them, but like most of them are middle grade. I think there's a couple YA books that I also haven't read yet. But man, her adult stuff, top tier. Top tier fantasy for her adult stuff. All right, well, that is the end of this reading vlog. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Go check out Sarah Beth Durst. Any of her books, just any of them, all of them. And I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.